Good evening, everyone. I'd like to call the meeting of January 28, 2026, oh boy, to order at 6 o'clock. If I could please have roll call.
Slater,
Present.
Commissioner Scarborough Echo,
Present.
Commissioner Santos, Commissioner Ortiz,
Here.
and Commissioner France.
Present.
Thank you.
Thank you. If we could all rise for the Pledge of Allegiance, and Vice Chair Ortiz, if you would lead. Of course. Thank you.
You guys can follow me with your heart. Sorry. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, we'll go ahead and move on to item number 3, public comment for items not on the agenda. Do we have any?
No, we haven't received none.
Okay, seeing none, we'll go ahead and close the public comment. And we'll move on to item number 4, rotation of chair and vice chair.
We haven't met in about 2 months, so this is the time that we're going to do the rotation of the chair and vice chair. So the chair will be Commissioner Franz, and the vice chair will be Commissioner Ortiz. So what we could do, just quickly change, and if the chair can be in the middle, and we'll just kind of, and then usually the vice chair is to the right or to the left, but if we can go ahead and just make that change, and then we can move on, chair, with the rest of the agenda.
Okay, so we've now completed the rotation of the chair and vice chair. We'll go ahead, I guess we have to call the meeting to order again, since we rotated, or is that just an error? Okay. All right, call to order. And we'll go ahead and move on to the minutes. Item 6.1, minutes of October 22nd, 2025. Do we have a motion or corrections?
I raise a motion to approve.
I'll second. Can we please have a roll call vote?
Commissioner Slater,
I'm abstaining.
thank you. Commissioner Scarborough Echo,
Abstain.
Santos is absent. Vice Chairperson Ortiz
Yes.
and Chairperson France.
Yes.
Thank you.
I do have a question. Was Commissioner Santos, was he there at that meeting?
I think so, but
No, okay. So let's do this. If he was there at that meeting, we'll bring it back. If he was not there at that meeting, if he was like another abstention, then what we would do is motion would pass, because if not, it would be a legal impossibility not to pass it just because of the abstention. So we'll take a look on our end. For now, I'm going to say conditionally approved based upon whether or not Commissioner Santos was there or not. If he was there, we'll bring it back.
perfect.
And
Thank
I
you.
just wanted to do one quick reminder, even if you were not at the meeting, if you read the minutes and you review them and you agree with them, you can still vote, even if you were not at the meeting. So sometimes if you're not at the meeting, you think that you can't vote, but you just need to review those minutes and then you're able to vote. Is that correct, Attorney?
So this is first that I'm hearing of it this way. I know that we could do that in public hearings. So public hearings, when public hearings are continued, sometimes we could hear the underlying open meeting, and then if it gets continued, and if somebody wasn't there, that's it. Meetings, I don't know, I would have to look at that. I'm not sure, but you could very well be correct, but I could take a look at that as well, because I know we're gonna have some of that, I think, this meeting and possibly next meeting, so I'll make sure to look at it.
Yeah, I was actually told that if you watch the meeting and you were absent, then you could participate. But I don't know for sure if that's right. So, okay, so we'll go ahead and move on then to item 6.2, minutes from November 12th, 2025. If I can have a motion or any corrections?
I raise a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Okay, if we can have roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Slater?
I abstain.
Commissioner Scarborough Echo? Commissioner Ortiz?
Yes.
And Chairperson Franz?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, we'll go ahead and move on to study session item 7.1, Planning Commission project consultation for proposed development for 50 parcel housing development. If we can have a staff report, please.
Yes. Good evening, Commissioners, and welcome, Commissioner Slater. My name is Nicolas Huitron, Assistant Planner with the Community Development Department. Tonight, this item is a project consultation for the Estrella Estates housing development. The purpose of this consultation is to obtain Planning Commission input on specific site design elements prior to the project continuing through the formal entitlement process. The proposed project is Estrella Estates, submitted by Pearl City Engineering. The site is located north of Avenue 50th and east of Jackson Street, and consists of approximately 5.65 acres of land. The site has a general plan land use designation of Suburban Neighborhood High and is zoned Suburban Neighborhood 8. This slide shows the location of the project in relation to the surrounding area, including Avenue 50th, Jackson Street, and the nearby residential communities. The project proposes a subdivision of the site into 52-story detached single-family residential homes. The development would include internal private streets and related subdivision improvements. The applicant is requesting an approval of a tentative tract map and the planning review discretionary entitlements. This slide provides a closer look at the proposed subdivision layout, including the internal street network and lot configurations. And as part of this project consultation, the applicant is requesting Planning Commission input on two primary design components. The first relates to the garage placement. Under the city's Unified Development Code, front-loaded garages are required to be set back a minimum of 5 feet behind the primary building facade. As proposed, the garages are positioned as the closest building facade to the public street. The second relates to access and gating. The project proposes a gated residential community with controlled access point located on Avenue 50th. I want to note that there will be only one access point, and that's per the fire code. If there were more, I think it's 52 residential homes, then that would be up to 2 access points. But because they're staying under that, only one access point is required. The general plan encourages connected neighborhoods, public streets, connectivity, and residential designs that limit gated development. So I want to note that the general plan doesn't specifically prohibit gated communities. However, it encourages to have public communities. And so therefore, staff is requesting the Planning Commission feedback on the proposed garage placement and gated community design to help guide the applicant as the project proceeds with the entitlement review. I'm finished with my presentation. However, the applicant is here. They do have a presentation for you all.
Okay, do we need to open the public hearing or, because it's a study session or not, before the applicant comes up?
Tonight, this is not a public hearing. It's
So
a
no.
consultation, get feedback from the Planning Commission. And then, just as important, the applicant can kind of give some more information about the project and then answer some questions on that feedback.
Okay, perfect. If we could have the applicant come up, that would be wonderful. Thank you.
My name is Ying Hu. I'm the civil engineer on the project. Um, we are proposing a 50-unit single-family house, a true high-quality design that that fits the community and provide affordable housing to the community. Yeah. Yeah, we did a careful consideration. This development express which residents will be assured a safe, convenient, attractive, and workable relationship within a unique home development. Um, yeah, we came up with 9 unique architectural design styles, an LED compliant material, and articulate garage volumes. We also propose balconies and floric medallions. We also encourage cohesive massing and geometry for our architectural design. Yes, as you see on the map, we are proposing 50 units, and there's a park in the middle of the lot to make the site more welcoming for future residents. And we are proposing gated community with private street and cul-de-sacs. We are proposing 3 cul-de-sacs and HOA maintained and common areas. Yeah, all homes share modern Spanish colonial elements with complementary details. Many with balconies and artistic wood doors, Maldanian at display at floric tail. Property layout homes having spacious living spaces with windows carefully located having view of many unique species of drought tolerance plants, shrubs, and trees. Homes with entries orientated to a comfortable walkway where future homeowners and guests will finish Spanish-style porches and entries, attractive and easily accessible, complemented by attached spacious garage for 2-car and motorcycle storage. Many homes include other separate additional entrance with living spaces for an individual renter in need for a modest living space with availability to home kitchen, living room, and laundry. The attached photo is elevation view of one of the 2 of the models. And yeah, this photo shows all 9 models elevation view. Yeah, this will give you better. It's colorful. It's in color, so it's yeah. And then yeah, we want to focus on affordability and livability. Keep in mind that generations may have cohabited just to have affordable housing. Every unit is 4 bedrooms with a main floor bedroom to fulfill that need. The goal is to market to owner occupants. While other cities saw shrinkage in median house home prices, Indio saw a 1% growth, referenced in the slide, making it perfect to add more housing supply. The site is zoned for the proposed density, making this the perfect development to complement the vision of the city in the specific plan. Yeah, landscape and streetscape. We are promoting drought-tolerant plants, and we are promoting street trees and shaded walks. And we are promoting Spanish-style porches and entries. And we are promoting Amento main entrance gates. I want to see. I want to show you a entry with a nice masonry block wall and front gate. Maybe a little too small to see, but yeah, we're proposing a nice masonry block and steel iron gate for the front entrance. This is some of the material we plan to use for the proposed housing for Spanish style, interior and exterior. Yeah, we also want to talk about we did market analysis. The median price in City Indio is $565,000. Home sale current listed is 1,220 homes, a rise of 34.2%. Active listing is 572 units, changing from last year 83.8%. Amazingly, the sales to listing price is 98.7%. So that's pretty good for City Indio. Yeah, this chart shows the existing single-family year-to-date median sales price by the city and year. City Indio, the sales price went up by 1%, and so most of the city actually shrinking. Yeah, this chart shows the existing single-family sales year-to-date by price segment, by year, and by city. City Indio is in the middle, 34%. In surrounding cities, like. And also we actually went to nearby constructions. There's the gallery at Indian Palms, which is behind us, behind our proposed site. And there's the North Gate. We did a comparison in terms of price and the size of the homes and number of bedrooms for our design. Yeah, that concludes my presentation.
Thank you. Do we have any questions at this point? Okay, go ahead.
Yes. Well, thank you, first of all, for thinking of the city of Indio and trying to build houses here in the community and the city. We definitely need more housing. A question for you is: Have you guys the idea of bringing a park or like a community place in the community? I didn't really see it on the map or like on the proposed building. Like, is it something that you guys are thinking about, or providing like a green space in the community?
Maybe we can put up that drawing, the subdivision drawing, so that he can point where that park is going to be located.
Oh, yes,
Would
yes.
that be good? If we can
Yes,
go back to that slide.
Yes, that'd be great. Yeah, the park is by lot, it's near the middle. The, by lot. Yeah,
On the end of
yes,
the
with-
cul-de-sac?
No, it's the one by without the pink.
Yes,
Without the,
without the pink.
right. A little small to see.
Yeah. So it's just
On the TV.
that community
Right.
is gated.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a little small to see. It's that, yeah, he's guy actually helped me out. It's the one without the pink.
Okay.
It's on the main street.
Okay. Okay. And then my other question, well, thank you for answering that. My other question is, why did you guys are proposing a gated community? I know that the plan doesn't require it, but encourage like communities to be open. So why are you guys proposing a gated community for that specific location?
Hmm.
Project wanted to propose gated because he just believes that people have that false sense of security with a gated community. So mostly to appease the people that may buy there.
Okay. Thank you. That's all I have for now, Chairwoman.
Any other questions? Go ahead.
Awesome. Thank you so much for bringing this project to the dais. I did have a couple comments in regard to the proposed gate. As it's shown, the gate as at near the most south end of the development, how many cars realistically would be able to fit behind that gate before impeding on traffic on Avenue 50?
Yeah, that's a good question. That's we can about 2 cars.
About 2 cars?
About 2
Okay.
cars, yes. Yeah, we talk about that when we place a gate. Yeah, we don't want people to waiting the gate to be open.
Yeah.
We were thinking about 2, 3 cars at least. So,
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah,
I believe it's 2 cars, at least 2 cars.
All right, because I'm also considering festival season, and Avenue 50 is relatively close to the festival grounds.
Very
And as far as the community, like let's just say there's residents that rent out their spaces there, which they have every right to do so, but it might increase the vehicle traffic coming in and out of that space. So it brings to question one, I guess any potential delays on entering people's property in those high volume times, as well as let's just say there's any issues with the gate functioning properly. I guess, are there any remediation plans to correcting that? Do the gates just stay open automatically when they're not functioning properly to prevent any traffic concerns on Avenue 50?
But yeah, it's a good question. We have the track home will have HOA maintenance, so they'll ensure that the gates will be operating properly. If there's an issue, they'll come fix it right away. And we also if the gates are broken, then most likely we will encourage them to have the gates open. That way you don't block the traffic. Yeah.
Okay, thank you for that.
Okay.
My next question touches base on the proposed green space or park in the center of the development. Are there any features or amenities that you plan to put in that development? As far as, is it just a retention basin or is it an actual usable communal green space?
Yeah, well, good question. Because we have to put a retention basin, but we don't want to just a retention basin. We did that for in many cities. We can use a retention basin, also like a park.
Mm-hmm.
You can put some benches. You can put some swings for kids. Yeah, we or having a little small barbecue area. That's what we have in mind, but we have not detailed on the plan.
Okay.
Yeah,
And
we
would that-
wanted like a park for families or future homeowners to enjoy with their kids. As a father with 2 kids, that's important with the park. We know how important that is having a park in the community.
Yeah.
So I have a follow-up on that one. So it's gonna be a basin and a park. You guys gonna use the same space to do both purposes.
Yes, we did that on a couple sites, and it's, we're not gonna, when it rain, we design only pond 6 inches for safety purpose. We're not, it's not gonna be, you're not gonna have a big pond. We just want a pond at 6 inches. That way we can use for dual function, a park and a retention basin.
Thank you. Lastly, would it be possible to reconsider moving the park in the center of the development to the front and maybe moving lot 1 to where the proposed lot B is? That way, what you could potentially do is utilize the two southernmost lots, which is the numbered lot and the lettered lot, to have that be more of an access way. So the entry gate is further recessed.
Oh, okay.
So that way, in the event there's high traffic, or one of my concerns as well is if there's going to be ADUs, are we monitoring within the HOA how many people can park there? Because if it's going to be multifamily housing, there's going to be multiple cars there as well.
We'll definitely consider that's a good idea with the gate, giving more cure time for the entrance. You mean the one next to the?
Yeah, so there's lot A, the infiltration basin, and then the first lot
Okay, I
one.
see. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did talk about that. That's a good candidate for moving the park there. That's a good candidate because we're gonna have mailboxes over there too. We can have mailboxes and yeah, we definitely gonna take a look at that. That's a possibility.
Okay. Yeah, and I understand I want to respect the developer's wishes to have it be a gated community, but I also encourage them to take a look at our Patton Park on the north side of the 10 freeway, which is a community park right outside of a gated development that's highly utilized by everybody. And staying consistent with the city's kind of like walkability and connectivity plan, there's another development called the Polo Estates, I believe, who has a beautiful walking trail right outside of the entire development. So I feel like kind of be doing a disservice just to put like a straight sidewalk with no greenery, no scrubbage, and just a gate. So I feel like we can maybe have it fall more in line with the development that's already taking place as well. And I agree with you. We want more parks and green spaces to take our kids and everything. And I just want to share with you that there is development on the corner of Avenue 50 and Jackson, the LNG store.
Okay.
And in the most southeast corner of that development, there's a proposed dog park, correct? Yeah, and so that might support the accessibility and be also a supplemental benefit to the proposed development.
Okay. Yeah, we did a dog park on another project in Cedar Victorville. Yeah.
Okay. My last question is just, I really appreciate you bringing in affordability because that's on everyone's mind right now. Is there a proposed estimate or range as to what these homes would be costing?
Cost to build?
Not to cost to build,
Cost
cost
to
to
sell.
sell.
Oh, I'm gonna have Helen. Actually, she's the broker.
Okay.
She knows more than I do in terms of real estate marketing.
Because, developments take a long time, prices change, so when we're ready to actually send it out to market, we would come slightly lower than what the market rate is.
Okay.
So that will help with the affordability and the way it's built, and the project is built with the intention that it may be a generational home.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you.
I do have another follow-up.
Thank you.
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Thank you, Chairwoman. I'm just want to touch base on the gate portion of the community. I know you mentioned that other communities have it. You mentioned Indian Palms, and they do have a gate, but you said that and that gate breaks a lot, and then especially during festivals, it is for the residents, like it is very hard for them to get in because there's a lot of cars coming in. They also do rentals, and then the arms for the gates are not working, so people can't get in. So it creates traffic on top of the traffic that we get because of the festivals, and especially that this location is so close to the polo grounds. I know that she mentioned that the owner wants like gated communities for security reasons, which I can respect that, but at the same time, we gotta think like about the traffic for the communities, just not this community, but like nearby, because it will back up, especially during festivals, and especially some I mean, obviously, we don't want this to happen, but if the gate, it is not functional, it's going to create like a traffic hazard.
Okay. Welcome, Commissioner Santos.
Thank you, and sorry for being a little late. Had car issues getting here, but
You're good?
I have no questions at
Okay,
this
great.
moment.
All right. I've just got a couple. What is the average lot size for these houses?
Yeah, average lot size is 6,000 square foot,
Okay.
about 6,000 square foot.
And what is the average square foot of the house?
Average square foot is about 2,000 square foot.
Okay. And you're thinking that these could be built almost like having an ADU because you have that bedroom at the bottom, but there is no actual separate entrance ADUs or casitas on these models, right?
No, yeah, just optional. If they choose to, they could do that.
Okay, so the base models won't have it, but it will be an add-on possibility if someone wants to when they build the house.
Yes.
Is that correct?
That's correct.
Yeah. Okay. All right, so that was one. The stacking of the cars, honestly, is going to be a big concern for us. I mean, we've all seen what some of these developments are, and when all you have is like 2 to 3 cars stacking, it's really easy to get backed up if somebody is stuck, can't move, and this is going to be a single entrance property. So I understand the desire for a gated community, but I think I agree with the commissioners that we would rather see it either not have it or somehow have a deeper line. And I don't know how you do that because you're kind of using the entire lot. But I think that's something that, as you guys look into this, really consider, can you make it 3 to 4 car stacking, or can you opt to not have the gates, at all? Because I do agree that during festival season and during our busiest time, that's going to be a problem. And I do know that when gates break, they usually automatically open, so at least they're open.
Right.
But it's still a concern. So I think the car stacking is something that we'd ask you to really, really look at and come back to us with what you're thinking. Talk to staff. They've seen all the different developments out here, and some that have worked and some that we wish worked better, right? The park basin, outdoor living is very important to our residents. And it's nice that there's a little green belt, but it's going to be pretty much, there's no walking paths in the development. There's no, if we can connect walking paths on the outside so people can walk more, that outdoor living is very important in the desert, at least 7 or 8 months out of the year, right? So I would like to see that. I think they're not bad. I think it's just, we have so much of this type of housing that I'm always trying to find something that maybe is a little bit different. And I don't know what to tell you because I know I'm not the market person, right? It's what the market will bear. But affordability with quality, right, is kind of a mix. That's important. The idea of being able to add an ADU, I think could be a big selling point because it is important for families nowadays that are living multi-generational. So I really would like you to work with the city to see what we can do to mitigate the things that we've brought up today. I think the design itself, they look nice. They're going to be higher quality homes. I do have a question for staff, but at this point, I think those are our concerns. Does anybody have any more? Nope. Okay. All right, no more questions. I just have one for staff. Okay, all right. So car stacking. I'm assuming we have minimums that we need to have. Is this meeting the minimum, or is it exceeding the minimum, or is it somewhere in between?
So as of right now, the project is still in review.
Okay.
Our traffic engineer would have to comment on that.
Okay.
And they would be able to provide the appropriate stacking requirement. The project once we get those comments or conditions from our Public Works Department for car stacking in that area, that is something that they do look at.
Okay.
And you all bring up very good points as far as the 2-car stacking queues is probably not going to be the way that this moves forward. But our traffic engineer will have to comment on that, and then we can provide more information during the actual public hearing.
Okay.
One thing we'll also be looking at, Chair, is the turnaround. So if someone comes in and says, oh, this is not where I want to go, they'll be able to turn around. And yeah, as Katron said, there's going to definitely need to be more stacking and a deeper, like you said, throat or what have you, because right now there isn't enough. So, but it's so early in the design phase that it hasn't had the full department review, as was mentioned from the Public Works Engineering Division. So that would be forthcoming if they move forward with an entitlement package.
Okay, great. You know, we want you to be creative. Think of definitely the multi-generational. I think honestly that would be something very interesting. And quality of life. We want people to have activities, be able to enjoy the weather all the months that we can. And the park placement, I know you got to figure out where to put it, so I know that's something you'll look at. But look at the surrounding area on Avenue 50 and see if there's a way to encourage some type of outdoor walking and activity.
I like the idea Commissioner Michael Slater brought for a site nearby. So when we get back to the office tomorrow, start with designing, we evaluating. Yeah, we'll look at surrounding cities. See if we can have see which design looks good, and we'll present it back to the city to see the different ideas.
Perfect. Thank you very much. Oh, one more? Okay.
Okay, with regard to, again, going back into vehicle traffic in the development, with multi-generational or multifamily housing in a specific unit, will there be a limitation or parking passes so only a certain amount of individuals are able to park their vehicles in the development? Or is it just free game, or is that up to the HOA? Okay, because one of my concerns is, let's just say someone's having a party or 2 people having a party on a weekend, there's going to be no parking or spaces in that development, and people are going to utilize the new parking spaces at LNG, and so that might end up being a bit inundated as well, because it's within walking distance from this development.
Right.
Yeah, and that was just, if you could just kind of keep that into consideration when looking at this development again. Thank you.
And I do have one more question for staff. The comment about the garage that we talked about, and we kind of all sidestepped that comment about the garage, about it not being, I guess, the building closest to the street, right? That we now want it kind of set back. That was something that was in this plan. So most of our older developments have the garage in the front, right? And now our newer developments that we've been approving, they've had them push back and the house more forward, right?
Yes, unless it's a side loading garage. If it's a side loading garage, they can be.
Right, if it's on the side.
Correct.
Okay. So can you remind me or explain to me kind of why that is become and why that's different than the garage in the front?
Yeah, I can add. So it's real common in planning design to de-emphasize the garage and emphasize the living area, the main home, towards the front of the street. It does that theme of walkability and be able to walk by, maybe see a porch or see, an outdoor living area, as opposed to a garage being kind of the main element up front and center, so to speak. So when the city was doing the UDC, those are the setbacks that they adopted, the council adopted. And actually, it's 5 feet is a very small amount. I've seen other codes that are, 10, 15 feet, so the garage is really set back. So it's to de-emphasize the garage, emphasize on the actual house itself, which is, the nice part. I know there are very decorative garages. Some people spend a lot of money on their garage door. So that's the purpose of it. So we'll work with the applicant. I mean, it's something that's a workaround, but at the same time, they have a certain design that they're looking, a certain feel. I think probably just as important is making sure that there's a driveway for a car to also park. And so if you move the garage back, there's a garage driveway pad, if you will, for cars to park there, especially if you have visitors. You want to have some parking there in the driveway.
And I honestly like the idea of pushing the garage back. So I just kind of wanted to explain like the thought of that before we moved on, because I think it is more important to have that living space up closer to the street versus the garage. And again, the parking is so important, but I just wanted to make sure we talked about that during the meeting. Okay, any other questions? No?
I
All right.
did want to note, just because the conversation came up about the emergency for gates, I want to note too that I'm not a subject matter expert in fire, but Title 24, Part 9 of the Fire Code does require that gates stay open if they are malfunctioning to prevent access for emergency services to a site. So as soon as there is a malfunction of any for the gates, they have to automatically be in the open position.
I got a follow-up for you. Is that included for like the arms? Because some gates have arms. So I know Indian Palms, because I used to live there, sometimes the gates will be broken, it wouldn't work, and then they will be open, but the arm will still be down.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, it would require any access to the community. I mean, for Indian Palms, I mean they might have a different because they have multiple access points. This one specifically because it's a single access. They would have to have that open position.
And I do have one question if I can, and this is for staff as well. If I recall correctly, I know there was a bill that was passed several years ago requiring gates to have the infrared detection that were mounted on the paramedics, fire, that basically open the gates automatically. Do you know if the city of Indio adopted that or has something like that in place?
Commissioner, we can look into that. That's something through that development review. If they do move forward with the entitlement, we work with the fire department and police department, things like that. But we could look into that. And if this does turn into a full-blown application, that'll be worked out during that time.
Perfect, thank you.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll go ahead and move on to item 8.1, public hearing items. Mathis Brothers, can we have a presentation, please?
Good evening, Commissioners, again. My name is Nicolas Huitron, Assistant Planner with the Community Development Department. The item before you is a request for planning review discretionary approval for a freestanding digital sign at the Mathis Brothers Home Store located at 81410 Highway 111. The proposed project involves the installation of one freestanding post-mounted digital sign on an existing fully developed commercial property occupied by the Mathis Brothers Home Store. The project is limited solely to signage. There's no new building construction, no expansion of the floor area, and no change in the existing commercial use. This slide shows the project location along Highway 111 within the West Gateway segment of the Highway 111 corridor specific plan. The project site is designated mixed-use neighborhood under the Indio General Plan 2040. This designation supports neighborhood-serving commercial uses and reinvestment within the established corridors. The property is zoned mixed-use corridor within the Highway 111 corridor specific plan, which establishes development and signage standards for the corridor. There is one existing digital sign located on the west-facing elevation of the Mathis Brothers outlet store. This sign was administratively approved through a building permit number B22-001-236 on March 8th, 2022, prior to the adoption of the Highway 111 corridor specific plan and prior to the current Unified Development Code signage framework. This slide shows a site plan for the proposed freestanding sign. The sign is located internally on site and does not impact parking, circulation, access, or driveways. There's no site reconfiguration or infrastructure changes that are being proposed. The proposed sign consists of a 12 by 36 foot LED sign, which is approximately 432 square feet in area. The sign is not expressly listed as a permitted sign by right under section 3.11 of the Highway 111 corridor specific plan. As of the result, the project requires planning review discretionary approval by the Planning Commission pursuant to section 3.11.A.2, which provides the commission the review of unlisted sign types. The sign is limited to static images only. Video, animation, scrolling text, flashing, or motion effects are prohibited. Image changes occur by instantaneous change only, and display durations are regulated through the conditions of approval. The sign includes an automatic dusk to dawn brightness control system with nighttime brightness limited to approximately 400 nits, consistent with the California Vehicle Code. Even though the sign is set back approximately 230 feet from Highway 111, our traffic engineer required that condition for the dusk to dawn and to comply with the Vehicle Code. For clarity, I wanted to note, staff wants to note that the proposed freestanding sign is not a billboard by definition. The sign is an on-site accessory digital sign that serves only the Mathis Brothers home store located on the subject property. It does not advertise off-site businesses. It won't allow third-party advertising and does not function as a freeway-oriented billboard. As conditioned, the total number of digital signs on site is limited to 2, consisting of the existing building mounted on the outlet store, as well as the proposed freestanding sign if approved. The Highway 111 corridor specific plan does allow electronic reader boards under section 3.11.C.1.K. Sorry, that was a mouthful. But only for multi-tenant commercial centers that meet specific eligibility criteria. One of those criteria is a minimum number of 10 unique businesses in addition to a minimum gross leasable area requirement. The Mathis Brothers property contains approximately 241,181 square feet of gross leasable area, which exceeds the square footage threshold in the specific plan. However, the site operates as a single tenant commercial use and does not meet the requirement for the 10 unique businesses. Because the project does not qualify as a permitted electronic reader board under the specific plan, it is correctly processed as an unlisted sign type and requires planning review discretionary approval. Staff is also recommending a site safety condition requiring the installation of parking blocks in the parking stalls directly in front of the freestanding digital sign and the landscaped area. This is just to avoid any cars to hit the sign or hit the landscaped area on the bottom. So these conditions as they are, we will read them. We wanted to read them into the record and for the recommendation for the commission to approve with these conditions added. Staff has evaluated the project for consistency with the General Plan 2040 and the Highway 111 Corridor Specific Plan. The project is categorically exempt from environmental review pursuant to Section 15311 for accessory structures of the California Environmental Quality Act guidelines. With application of relevant conditions of approval, the project is recommended for approval, and conditions of approval are binding and must be adhered to. With that, staff recommends to approve Resolution 2125, recommending conditional approval of the Mathis Brothers digital LED sign for case file number Plan PRD 250022 with the added conditions that were read into the record. Thank you for your time. The applicant is available and they have a presentation as well.
Okay, any questions for staff at this time? No? Okay, we'll go ahead and open the public hearing and invite the applicant to come in.
Hi, good evening, Madam Chair and Commissioners. Welcome, Anderson. First of all, thank you for the opportunity of being here. My name is Sergio Mariana. I'm the operations manager for the Mathis Brothers property here in Indio. I want to thank the staff, first of all, for putting the presentation together. That was my presentation will look nothing like that. I just wanted to add or answer any additional questions that you may have. We're proud to be part of the 111 corridor. We invested quite a bit in for the long-term residents here. Our building did not look like this a few years ago. We're very proud to be at the forefront of the High 111 corridor. We are asking for your approval on an additional sign, which it is a very valuable tool for our business. The sign will be just like with your existing sign, made out of just the best material possible for the long-term use. As mentioned in the presentation, it will be qualify for all safety and will not be operated against any laws, applicable laws. So the purpose for the sign, it will amplify the visibility and clearly communicate our level of quality and value of a product that we offer, and be consistent with the design of the facade. Contributes to an enhancing the overall character quality of the west gateway section of the corridor, supporting both improvements and future development efforts. And furthermore, reinforces the High 111 corridor branding and commercial vibrancy for all stakeholders. The existing sign, it's a little bit smaller, well, a lot smaller in size, but it does complement the size of the facade for the Matis Sleep. Additionally, for clarity for our consumer, we would like the opportunity to have the second sign to advertise the product that is in the main store rather than just in the Matis Sleep site. I can assure the Commission that the end result will look almost identical to the rendering, including the sunset, I guess, depending on the day for when we photograph it. But there will be no exposed conduit or any unsightly material. And that is just for to exemplify the store frontage versus the size, length of the digital sign that's there currently. This, for reference, would be slightly about 3% less. That is the location of the existing sign in addition to the new sign proposed.
Thank you.
Much for considering our presentation.
Great, thank you very much. Do we have any questions of the applicant at this time?
First of all, thank you for being here, and thank you for providing great services to the residents of Indio. Just not Indio, but the entire Coachella Valley. I personally bought my furniture when I first got my house at Matis Brothers, and I got a good discount. So, but good questions about the sign. Will the sign be 24/7? Even though I know that in the evening you guys are gonna make it darker per se. Like, is it still gonna be going on during like the night times, or is it just gonna be off?
It will be off at nighttime. The conditions of approval dictate that sign will operate only during business hours.
Got it. So it's gonna be off. Okay, perfect. And then the other one, I just want to make sure it's only going to be like Matis Brothers, like promotions, right? It's not gonna be other companies, or like you guys not gonna advertise anything besides your product, correct?
Absolutely, yes.
Okay, perfect. Okay, that's all I have.
No intention on advertising anyone else. Like we mentioned, not a billboard by no means.
Anyone else? Okay.
Thank you so much for your presentation and for being here. I've been a longtime resident in Indio since I was little, so I've gone to Mathis Brothers since you guys were a one-story, tiny little building, and I've just seen it grown exponentially, and it's awesome to see. So thank you for all you've done for our community and continuously investing in developing that area. I specifically want to compliment the building's architecture and site design. I know we're kind of moving away from the sign, but I feel like it's relevant because currently, as you look at the facade of Mathis Brothers, it's a really beautiful, well-maintained, high-scale, like classy. It just makes you want to go shop there. However, I feel that a large LED screen may distract from that existing character rather than enhance it. So I know that we do have the smaller LED screen on the west end of your site. However, on the other side, so there's the Mathis Brothers logo, the project sign, and then on the left side, there's some like lighting design that you guys did against the wall that kind of like enhances the aesthetic or look of it. Is it a possibility at all to maybe consider something along those lines near the proposed LED screen? So that way when people are driving by at night, because I took the liberty of driving by last night and I spent some time there and walked my dogs. But I do agree that it's a huge like blank space that could still be utilized. So is it at all a possibility to maybe consider some lighting fixtures or just to kind of like enhance it after hours? So when people are driving by at night, it's not just like the beautiful facade, the blank wall, and then now there's gonna be like a black vacant like LED screen on it.
Totally understood. We could definitely look into, obviously, just like the other building has beautiful uplights that uplight the panels, that would highlight the landscaping rather than the black screen, or at all display something on it that would be much dimmer, that would not be an architectural sort of picture. I guess we can do anything with this. We can literally project anything on the screen that you would like to see.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you so much for that. And now I guess my next question would be redirected towards staff. I did look over the conditional agreements of the sign. Yeah, general conditions of approval. One of them stated that the LED screen is to be shut off after business hours. Would it be at all a possibility for them, like he mentioned, to display a fixed image after hours that's not moving, should they choose to do that?
Yeah, that's a really good question. We haven't really given that much thought because usually signs are turned off after the business is closed. We do have a little bit of concern that, if all businesses did that when they were closed, it does kind of take away from the community to have a lot of these signs on even when the business is closed. I mean, that's certainly something that, can be discussed this evening, and maybe some of your ideas of what you'd like to display, but right now it's conditioned to not be on after they're closed.
Okay, thank you. My last question would be for you. I mean, I'm not against an LED sign. I understand the need for it. Was anything else considered to take up that space either by yourself or maybe some staff that maybe recommended something?
There was at one point a discussion about a mural on the side, but I talked to someone, skips my name right now, it's been a little bit of a time that passed, and it wasn't quite suitable for the city, not for us. We were inclined to partner up and do something that was, but it was not quite the right location, unfortunately.
Understood. Okay, well, thank you so much for the presentation and your time.
My pleasure. Great to have some of you as customers. We're welcome.
Thank you. Megan, anything?
Thank you.
No? No, we're good? No, I think, for my comments, I really loved what you guys did with the addition of the buildings. I think you did a very good quality job. I like the idea of having some type of uplighting or something, so it's not just a blank screen, but I don't think I'm in favor of having it run all day long. I agree, because then other businesses are gonna want it, and that's gonna change a whole lot of things. So maybe that's something that staff could work on, and maybe there's some type of, with the landscaping design, some uplighting, so it just doesn't look black, right?
Understood.
But other than that, I'm grateful you guys are part of Indio, and I've shopped there too, so thank you very much.
We appreciate the city's partnership over so many years, and we're proud to be part of the community.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Are there any other requests for public speaking on this item? Nope. Okay, we'll go ahead and close the public hearing. Are there any questions or comments for staff, or are we ready to make a motion?
I just wanted to note, so for, as far as the lighting is concerned for after hours, when the sign does turn off, they are conditioned to have to submit a landscape plan application to the planning division. In that application, we can, at the commission's discretion or direction, we can review lighting for that and just, make sure that it is well lit. We can ask for, hey, what does a nighttime view of this look like? And then we can make that decision at that time.
Yeah, we would just add that as a condition, right? Do we need to do that, or is it just fine with the comments?
The landscape plan, yeah.
Yeah, I think the landscaping is already
there?
conditioned, but
Okay.
what we do need, and I'll let Nicholas do that, is the new condition for the wheel stops, so that when the cars park on those spaces, they don't run into that sign and the posts.
Yeah, if we can
because
pull
I
those
think
up.
One's not in there.
Any other comments, or do we have a motion?
So the planning, your department will make that determination that if like the lighting, it works, you guys wouldn't bring it to us anymore, right?
The lighting, you're talking about the up lighting for
Yeah.
the landscaping, I will work with the applicant
Okay.
as part of the landscape review.
Okay, perfect.
But if we could, go ahead, once you read the
Yes.
condition in, so that when you do decide to vote, we can include this wording.
Yes, so to read the conditions in, they should be in as follows. Prior to the issuance of a building permit, wheel stops shall be installed in the parking stalls located directly in front of the freestanding digital sign and associated landscape area to prevent vehicle encroachment. The final placement and configuration shall be subject to review and approval by the planning division at the time of building permit plan check. Thank you.
Okay, if there's no more comments, do I have a motion?
I raise a motion to approve.
And I'll second it.
Okay, and with the additions?
Yes,
Correct.
with additions. Yeah.
Okay, great. I have a motion and a second. If we can have roll call, please.
Yes. Commissioner Slater,
Yes.
Commissioner Scarborough Echo,
Yes.
Commissioner Santos,
Yes.
Vice Chairperson Ortiz,
Yes.
and Chairperson Franz.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, motion carries. Thank you very much. Okay, we'll go ahead and move on to commissioner comments. Do we have any? Okay.
My comment is to welcome our new Commissioner Slater. I hope that you, after seeing what you, like your questions that you asked today, seems that you actually are very capable, smart. So we're happy that you're here, and then we just welcome you.
Yeah, once again, welcome to this planning commission. It sounds like you have a wealth of knowledge. I'm sure we'll all learn from you. We'll learn from all of us as well. And I think 2026 will be amazing with the group that's up here. So, and with staff as well.
Same thing. Welcome. Okay, we'll go ahead then and move on to staff items.
Ms. Chair, members of the commission, if we may, because Commissioner Santos is here, do you want to quickly reopen the minutes from last time? And also just to clear the record as well, Your planning director was of course correct. So somebody can in fact look, at least Robert's Rules of Order suggests that somebody can in fact look at, the video or hear something and actually vote even though they weren't there. So there you go. I was able to look that up as well, so.
Okay. So we're going to go ahead and go back to item 6.1, the Planning Commission meetings of October 22nd, 2025. Do I have a motion to approve?
I'll make that motion.
Second?
I'll second.
Okay, we have a roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Slater,
Abstain.
Commissioner Scarborough Echo,
Abstain.
Commissioner Santos,
Yes.
Vice Chairperson Ortiz,
Yes.
Chairperson Franz.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. All right, so now we'll go ahead and move on to staff items.
Yeah, thank you very much. And I did, even though we've said it several times, I want to welcome Commissioner Slatter to the commission. We're very excited to have a full commission now. It's common sometimes to have one or two missing, so thank you very much and welcome to the Planning Commission. I am always available when you have questions and items that come up, and I do appreciate some great comments tonight on the items. So the next item, and even though this is an item that is part of the staff items, it's not up for discussion because I didn't actually put it on the beginning of the agenda, but I did want to give a quick update on the gas station moratorium. So last month, on December 17th, the City Council did approve a moratorium on gas stations for 90 days, only 90 days. We originally were going to do it longer, but after that meeting and discussing internally with staff, we thought that within 90 days, which we're close, we're going to put together a draft ordinance, take it to the council. If the council likes that, and they may have some changes, which is great. We're always ready to fine tune the ordinance. Then we'll come back to the Planning Commission. You'll be able to get that, make some comments on that before we bring it back to the council for adoption. So the things that behind the scenes the staff is working on for a new ordinance, since right now there's a moratorium, and that moratorium does not include projects that were already approved, titled, even one that came in before the moratorium is locked in and is safe, so to speak. But no new applications. Staff is not accepting any new gas station applications at this time. So some of the things that we're looking at based on direction from the council and the Planning Commission has brought up some of these same items as the council is looking at areas that are saturated. There's too many gas stations. There's probably 2, maybe 3 areas that definitely have an abundance of gas stations. So we're looking at that and we're trying to come up with a framework, if you will, of areas that would not be allowed to have gas stations. Some of the things that staff is looking at is a prohibition along Highway 111, also along Indio Boulevard, and then areas that there's a saturation of gas stations. We're also looking at distances, for example, setbacks near residential, sensitive receptors. So we're looking at some development standards for that as well. Increased landscaping. I really love to see a lot of landscaping. So one of the things that I've already have drafted is doubling the percentage of landscaping that's currently allowed for gas stations. I think that would help. And even adding more shade trees, putting into the ordinance larger shade trees, which could be a little controversial because we don't want to block the storefront, but that's something we're also looking at. Amenities, we have an earthquake? That's the train. We're looking at amenities as well. So things like art. We're also looking at potentially like walking paths and things like that in order for it to be an asset. Improved maintenance. Sometimes gas stations, the maintenance is definitely shaking here. The maintenance at gas stations are sometimes not very good. And so we're going to be requiring, or at least having the council and the planning commission considering a maintenance program for gas stations to address graffiti, possibly homelessness, being tidy and things like that. And then last but not least is making sure that inside the convenience center, there's a fresh food option. So I'm not necessarily saying that I favor this one or that one, but in common discussions regarding this topic, Tower Market comes up. If you walk into Tower Market, there is actually a fresh produce section, head of lettuce, you can get a cucumber, you can get some chopped up fruit. So things that are fresh, a fresh option. So those are things that were a little bit of a mouthful, but those are some things that we're looking at incorporating into a new ordinance for new gas stations that come into town. So I'm excited about it because whenever you can improve the community, it's a great opportunity. So, and then the last item that I wanted to bring to the attention is the Planning Commissioners Academy. So I put on and actually, you know what? Let me back up a little bit. I also put on your desk, there is some comments that were just received today regarding the gas station moratorium. So I wanted to make sure that you have a copy of that. Obviously, there's organizations, there's groups that are concerned about the moratorium. This came from the California Fuels and Convenience Alliance. So wanted to make sure that because these were comments regarding this particular item that you got a copy of that. I'll most likely be attaching this as well to future staff reports at the City Council. So lastly is the Planning Commissioners Academy. I really want to urge each commissioner. Now, I know some of you have already attended, so you may or may not be interested, but there's a Planning Commissioners Academy that's through the League of California Cities, taking place on March 11th through the 13th, and that'll be in Anaheim. The deadline to register is March 4th, so you still have plenty of time here. The city would be paying for you to go to this academy. It would be great training, especially for first-time commissioners. We have Slater here tonight. That would probably be good as well. If you have any questions, you can work through me as far as doing the accommodations and signing you up, etc. So those are the 3 staff items tonight. Again, they're not necessarily discussion items or a study session, but those are the staff items this evening that I have for the commission. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Anybody have questions of staff? Nope. All right. If you have never attended one of these academies, I think it's worth going. I did years ago. I probably should go again, but I just looked at my calendar, not this March, but it's good to go. If there are no other comments, then we'll go ahead and adjourn the meeting to our next meeting scheduled for February 11th. Thank you so much, everyone, and good night. Well, that was quick. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Turn off the mic.